video. I hope everybody's doing good. If not, hopefully I can cheer y'all up because we're going to be talking about one of the feel good stories in the league today. Talking about Jordan Love. Talk about Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers and how good they've looked, their come up in the NFL over the past month and a half or so. So the Packers now sit at 6-6 as the time of recording this, coming off of a really, really huge win over the past weekend, beating the Kansas City Chiefs off the back of another huge win on Thanksgiving Day, taking out the Detroit Lions on the road. And they've just been racking up wins week after week after starting very slow. And no, actually, no, starting off well and then kind of tapering off. But as the season's gone on, they've progressed, cleaning up the offensive mistakes, and it really showed in two huge primetime games against two uh, contending teams. And depending on how you feel about the Lions, I think they are contenders, but I know some people don't feel that way. That's another thing. But two darn good 8-win teams they took down in consecutive big spots in like high-profile primetime games. And like I said, the Packers offense looks really good. Both of those games, they look really good for weeks. And the main reason for that has been the growth and the come up of their young quarterback, Jordan Love. Before the season, three subplots that I was looking for in the NFL. One of those subplots I was looking for is always, it usually always is young quarterbacks and how can they grow? What are they going to look like? How are they going to grow throughout the season? And Jordan Love was one of the guys I was paying attention to because I've always been super intrigued by Jordan Love, even back at his Utah State days. Coming out of the draft, I really, really liked him. I loved his his sense for playmaking, his like natural sense for playmaking. I loved his athletic tools, like his pocket mobility, his play extension ability, his arm talent. I loved all of that. I felt like the kid had a good head on his shoulders. And I was really in on Jordan Love. Green Bay took him, and I'm like, dang, he's gonna get to sit behind, in my opinion, best that's ever done it. Um, and it's like, man, in a few years, once he finally gets that job, he's gonna be great. And like, it's been mixed. You know, he's come in certain spots and he's either looked terrible. I don't know if y'all remember that really insane Kansas City game from a couple years ago where the environment and the circumstances were really, really not in his favor. I remember Rodgers got hurt and then he just had to come in out of nowhere in Arrowhead against an insane Chiefs team, and it looked not good at all. And people piled on him, people gave up on him. But gotta let the kid grow, man. He finally gets the job now that Rodgers is out. And like I said, in the beginning of the season, it wasn't amazing. He really, really struggled with his accuracy, and it was bad at times. Like there would be tight ends wide open, wide open up the seams for 60-yard gains, and he would overthrow them. Like it wasn't great. Um, and I was getting a little bit concerned, even though I've always believed in Jordan Love. But I was starting to get a bit concerned. Him coupled with these super young receivers that are also trying to learn the league and you know get their feel for the games as well, like Christian Watson, Romeo Dubs, and they were all collectively just kind of making mistakes all together. Whether it was like blown blocks, drops, dudes not running the right routes, pressure coming in at the worst times, which would make Jordan Love force passes, and it was just that the Raiders game was like the peak of it, and that's kind of like when everybody gave up. You fast forward a few weeks, and they start getting their rhythm together. Those little dumb mistakes start to go away week after week. There's like less and less and less of them. And then we get to that Detroit game, and it all comes together. I think the run game comes back, and it looks like Jordan Love finally has like a full command of the offense. He looks so comfortable, and the accuracy with him that seems to have just gone away, like over like within 3 weeks. It's gone because now he's hitting dudes in stride like crazy. He's fitting amazing passes into tight windows. That throw in that Chiefs game on like 3rd and 12 or whatever, floating it. There's like four Chiefs around that single receiver, and he has to drop it into a bucket. A huge spot to Romeo Dubs. That was unbelievable. And it's just, and then the touchdown throw to Christian Watson was on the money away from the safety as well. Like the accuracy with him has completely flipped, and now he looks like an amazing asset for this team. He has been playing so clean. Like he's not turning the ball over anymore. Those dumb decisions have dialed back. And again, you couple that with he already had the feel for extending plays outside the pocket, already had the arm talent to make pretty much every throw that you need him to make. He already had that like cool like collectiveness, like he never got rattled. Couple that with now the receivers are getting into their rhythm. They're making less mistakes. They're holding on to the ball now when Love does get it to them. And now they're putting up 29 points, 27 points, and you just see it. They already had a great play caller like Matt LaFleur. They just had to weed out those mistakes. And now, like I said, they're 500 with two super impressive wins against really good teams. And they sit in the seventh spot. They sit in the seventh spot in the NFC. And they have, I don't know if y'all have seen, they have an insanely easy schedule going forward. I think they play the Vikings, and it might be like four college football teams. Yeah, they got a pretty good shot at getting in. And it's again, it's insane how well Jordan Love is playing now. He looks like an unbelievable quarterback. Can't say enough good things about Jordan Love. It's also great to see him, it's to see him shut up a lot of people, a lot of like naysayers too, that really were like incredibly quick to write him off. Like I brought up that Chiefs game from a couple years ago. They saw that game and they were like, yeah, forget this guy. This doesn't have it. This is really, really bad. Or he's just really, really young and thrown into a crazy situation that like he was set up to fail in that game. You can't like drop like you can't just stamp narratives after one game against defending champions or whatever the Chiefs were at that point. It's great to see him shut those people up. They were very quick to write him off, and now that he's playing like this, I don't know why it wouldn't continue. This is a very good roster. It's just a young roster, but it's really good. There's talent absolutely everywhere. And now that Love is playing well, that you think about that 2020 class with the quarterbacks, it looks insane. Of course, Joe Burrow went number 1 overall. I just called him Joey. I am a Joe Burrow fan, and I call him Joey too much. I admittedly call him Joey too much. I need to stop that. Joe Burrow goes number 1. Tua and Justin Herbert are taking 5 and 6. They're both really good quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts is taken in the second round. Let's not forget that. We know what Hurts has done in this league. And Jordan Love, he was just the last guy to come up. He was the last one that we needed. And now that looks like a very, very special class. The way Love is playing right now, the Packers, I'm willing to say they've got their franchise quarterback. I'm willing to say that because I've always believed in him, and it just took a minute, but he's always flashed, and now the consistency is here. The consistency is here against good teams. That's what we want to see. But I had to. It's my favorite thing going in the league right now. I had to talk about the Packers because, like I said, these young receivers are playing well. They already had a good offensive line. Jordan Love is playing better, along with Matt LaFleur's play calling. Matt LaFleur's a good coach. Along with his play calling, the offense looks lovely now, and they've got answers for everything. They had answers for a ton of stuff that the Chiefs and that blitzing man defense was throwing at them on Sunday. And yeah, and they look like a real team with a real quarterback. Shout out to the Green Bay Packers. But yeah, I had to throw some love out there for them. And yeah, if y'all enjoyed this video, if you agree with me, are you still not in on love? If look, if you're not loving, you're hating. That's what I've learned. But let me know. Are you Packers fans? How are y'all feeling? Are you elated? Are you relieved? Let me know. Is any upper tier contenders afraid of the Packers? I wouldn't go that far. But for me, it's great to see them succeed because honestly, man, I've loved Jordan Love since the draft. Man, it's great to see young quarterbacks come up and make their name in this league. Even though that game against the Chiefs, I will admit, was a little ugly at the end, the officiating. But I refuse to get into that. But yeah, again, once again, thank y'all for watching. Showing Jordan Love some love, man. And yeah, I'm gonna be out. I will be out with more content as the weeks go on. I won't miss me, promise. But I am playoff done. I'm out.